At the school party, two motherless twins make a touching request to their nanny to pretend to be their mother for a day. Unaware that their father was watching them, she takes them in her arms and says, "Mommy is proud of you." The millionaire bursts into tears. Watch until the end to understand why. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tell us which city you're watching us from. We'll keep going. The school auditorium buzzed with excitement as parents filled the seats, smartphones ready to capture every moment of the spring recital. Backstage, 8-year-old twins Lily and Emma Mitchell trembled, their matching blue dresses spotless, but their confidence shaken. Their nanny, Sophia Walker, knelt before them, adjusting their butterfly hairpins with gentle hands. "What if I forget the words?" Emma whispered, her eyes wide with panic. "And what if I trip?" Lily added, equally terrified. Sophia squeezed their small hands. "You two have practiced for weeks. You know this by heart." Her voice was steady, reassuring, the same voice that had guided them through nightmares and homework struggles since she'd become their nanny a year ago. The twins exchanged glances, a silent conversation passing between them. Finally, Emma leaned forward, her voice barely audible. "Sophia, can you do something for us?" "Just for today. Anything," Sophia promised. "Can you pretend to be our mom?" Lily finished her sister's thought. "The other kids all have their moms here and we—" Sophia's heart clenched. These beautiful girls had never known their mother, Catherine, who had experienced complications during their birth. For the past year, Sophia had watched them search for maternal love in every female figure they encountered. As someone who had lost both parents in a car accident when she was 12, she understood their yearning all too well. "Are you sure?" Sophia asked softly. "What about your dad?" "He's probably stuck in a meeting anyway," Emma said, her small shoulders slumping with practiced disappointment. Before Sophia could respond, a deep voice called from behind them. "Actually, I made it." The girls whirled around. "Daddy!" They launched themselves at Nathan Mitchell, who caught them in his strong arms. Tall, with dark hair graying slightly at the temples, and kind eyes often shadowed by exhaustion, Nathan worked tirelessly at his investment firm. Since losing his wife, he'd buried himself in his career, leaving most of the child-rearing to nannies, until Sophia arrived and brought stability to their home. "I wouldn't miss this for the world," Nathan said, setting the girls down. "I cleared my entire afternoon." The twins beamed, but their smiles faltered when a stagehand announced 5 minutes until curtain. The panic returned to their eyes. Instinctively, they reached for Sophia. "We need to get in place," Lily said, her voice trembling again. Sophia pulled them close, forgetting Nathan's presence for a moment. "You'll be amazing. Mommy's so proud of you both." The words slipped out naturally, prompted by the girl's earlier request. She felt Nathan stiffen beside her, but the girls' faces transformed with such radiant joy that she couldn't regret it. They hugged her fiercely before scampering off to join their classmates. When Sophia turned, she found Nathan staring at her, his expression unreadable. "Nathan, I'm sorry. They asked me to—" "No," he interrupted, his voice thick. "Don't apologize. It's just, I haven't heard anyone say that to them since Catherine." He cleared his throat. "Thank you for being there for them in ways I haven't been." Something shifted between them in that moment, a recognition of the family unit they had unconsciously formed over the past year. Nathan's phone buzzed, but for the first time in Sophia's memory, he silenced it without checking the screen. From the 5th row of the auditorium, Victoria Hayes watched the interaction with narrowed eyes. Her sleek ponytail and designer athleisure wear marked her as the fitness elite of Boston's affluent Beacon Hill neighborhood. As Nathan's personal trainer for the past 2 years, Victoria had cultivated more than just his physical strength. Their brief affair had ended 6 months ago, when Nathan called it inappropriate and a mistake, but Victoria considered it merely. Paused. She observed how Nathan's hand briefly touched the small of Sophia's back as they took their seats, how his smile came easily in the nanny's presence. Victoria's perfectly manicured nails dug into her program. This ordinary girl, barely out of college with her simple sundress and natural beauty, was clearly overstepping. The recital proceeded with the usual elementary school charm, forgotten lines, occasional tears and moments of unexpected brilliance. When the Mitchell twins performed their duet flawlessly, Nathan and Sophia leaped to their feet, applauding wildly. Victoria noted how they looked like proud parents, a family, and something dark twisted inside her. That evening, the Mitchell home on Commonwealth Avenue felt different. Nathan cancelled his dinner meeting and helped Sophia prepare a celebratory meal. The girls chatted excitedly about their performance, basking in their father's undivided attention. "Can we do homework at the table tonight, Daddy?" Emma asked as they cleared the dishes. "Homework? On your big night?" Nathan looked surprised. "Sophia makes it fun," Lily explained. "She uses beans to teach us multiplication." Nathan raised an eyebrow at Sophia, who shrugged sheepishly. "It helps them visualize the groups," she explained. "They're quite good at math now." Soon the dining table was covered with colorful beans arranged in neat rows as the girls proudly demonstrated their multiplication skills to their father. Nathan watched, mesmerized not just by his daughter's knowledge, but by the teaching method Sophia had devised. "Where did you learn this technique?" he asked. "My mother was a kindergarten teacher," Sophia replied, a wistfulness in her voice. "Before she passed away, she taught me that learning should engage all the senses." After the girls were tucked in, Nathan invited Sophia to stay for a glass of wine on the terrace overlooking the Boston Common. The spring air was cool but pleasant. "I've been absent," Nathan admitted, staring into his glass. "Not just physically, but emotionally. Seeing you with them today, I realized how much I've been missing." "It's not too late," Sophia assured him. "They adore you. They adore you too. You've given them something I couldn't." Their conversation flowed effortlessly into the night, covering childhood memories, future dreams, favorite books. Neither noticed the figure watching from across the street, documenting every laugh, every toast, every moment of connection. Victoria's campaign began subtly. A casual mention to Eleanor Mitchell, Nathan's mother, during their weekly wellness session. "It's concerning how much time the nanny spends on her phone when she's with the girls at the park." The elegant older woman frowned. "Nathan hasn't mentioned any issues with Sophia." "Oh, I'm sure he hasn't noticed." "Men rarely do," Victoria replied smoothly. "I only mention it because I care about those precious girls." Next came a concerned citizen call to the girls' private school, suggesting that Sophia had arrived smelling of alcohol during pickup. The school director, Dr. Winters, approached Nathan discreetly, forcing him to question Sophia despite his instincts. "I would never endanger Lily and Emma," Sophia said, hurt evident in her eyes. "I don't even drink during the week." Nathan believed her, but the seed of doubt had been planted. He found himself watching her more closely, questioning small decisions, checking her breath when she returned from her day off. Victoria escalated her plan when she noticed Nathan pulling away from her influence. Using connections from her wealthy clientele, she hired a private investigator to follow Sophia. 3 weeks later, Victoria arrived at Nathan's office with an envelope of photographs. "I debated whether to show you these," she said, her voice dripping with feigned concern. "But as your friend, I felt you should know who's watching your children." The photos showed Sophia at a dimly lit bar, leaning close to an attractive man, their hands occasionally touching across the table. In one image, the man kissed her cheek goodbye. Nathan felt a confusing mix of jealousy and betrayal, emotions he had no right to feel about his children's nanny. Still, he confronted Sophia that evening. "I ran into Mike at the grocery store," Sophia explained calmly. "His daughter was diagnosed with leukemia last month. He's devastated, and his marriage is struggling under the strain. He needed someone to talk to." Looking at the photos again, Nathan noticed what he'd missed initially: the man's red-rimmed eyes, the tissues on the table, Sophia's compassionate expression. This wasn't romance. It was comfort being offered to someone in pain. "I believe you," Nathan said, embarrassed by his accusation. "I'm sorry. I don't know why I jumped to conclusions, but both knew why. Something was changing between them, something neither was ready to acknowledge. As spring turned to summer, the Mitchell home transformed. Nathan rearranged his schedule to be home for dinner most nights. Weekends were filled with museum visits, bike rides along the Charles River, and picnics in the public garden. Sophia found herself increasingly included in these family activities, no longer just an employee, but something more, something undefined but precious. Victoria watched this transformation with mounting fury. Her calls went unreturned. Her convenient drop-ins at the house were met with polite but firm boundaries. She needed a new strategy, one that would remove Sophia permanently. The opportunity came during Eleanor Mitchell's 70th birthday celebration at the family's Cape Cod summer home. Victoria, invited as Nathan's wellness consultant, arrived with an expensive gift and a devastating plan. During dinner, Eleanor proudly wore her mother's antique sapphire necklace, a family heirloom worth a small fortune. As the evening wound down, her cry of distress silenced the gathering. "My necklace! It's gone!" The house was searched thoroughly. Just as everyone was about to give up, Victoria suggested checking the staff quarters just to be thorough. In Sophia's overnight bag, beneath her neatly folded clothes, lay the missing necklace. The silence in the room was deafening as all eyes turned to Sophia. "I didn't take it," she said, her voice steady despite her pale face. "I would never." Nathan looked torn, his trust visibly wavering for the first time. "Sophia, if there's some explanation—" "The explanation is that I'm being set up," Sophia interrupted, her gaze moving deliberately to Victoria, who maintained a perfect mask of innocence. "But I can see that isn't enough." That night, Sophia packed her belongings. The twins clung to her, sobbing, begging her not to leave. "Please, Sophia," Lily wept. "We need you." "Sometimes loving someone means stepping away when your presence causes pain," Sophia told them, her own tears falling. "But I will always, always love you both." Nathan stood in the doorway, conflicted and miserable. "You don't have to go. We can figure this out." "Can we?" Sophia asked quietly. "You've already decided I'm guilty, Nathan. Your hesitation said everything." She left in the early morning before the twins awoke, taking only what she had brought into their lives a year ago. She left behind her heart, and a family once again fractured by loss. The following weeks were grim. The twins refused to eat properly, withdrew from activities, and cried themselves to sleep. Nathan moved through his days like a ghost, questioning his judgment, missing Sophia's steady presence with an ache that surprised him. Even Eleanor seemed troubled, watching her son and granddaughters suffer with growing concern. The truth emerged unexpectedly. Dr. Winters called Nathan to report that their investigation had traced the anonymous alcohol accusation back to its source. A call placed from Eleanor Mitchell's home phone. Confronting his mother, Nathan discovered Victoria had convinced Eleanor that Sophia was after his money, positioning herself as a potential wife rather than an employee. "She seemed so concerned," Eleanor admitted, ashamed. "And I was worried about you getting hurt again. But watching you now, I realize the only one hurting you is me." And Victoria. With growing suspicion, Nathan questioned his mother about the necklace. Eleanor's face crumpled. Victoria suggested we test Sophia's honesty. She offered to place the necklace somewhere in Sophia's things, just to see if she'd return it. Her voice broke. "I never meant—" "You allowed that woman to frame Sophia," Nathan said, his voice cold with anger. "You let me drive away the one person who brought joy back into this house." That evening, Nathan traced Sophia to a community daycare center in Dorchester, where she had taken a job working with underprivileged children. From across the street, he watched her lead a group of toddlers in a song, her smile genuine despite the simplicity of her new surroundings. The sight of her, less polished than before but still radiantly kind, made his heart contract painfully. When she noticed him, her smile faded. She sent the children inside and crossed the street, arms folded protectively across her chest. "What are you doing here, Nathan?" "I know the truth," he said simply. "About Victoria, the necklace, the call to the school. I'm so sorry I doubted you." Sophia's expression remained guarded. "Words are easy. Then let me show you with actions," he replied. "Every day for as long as it takes." True to his word, Nathan appeared at the daycare daily, bringing donations of books and toys, volunteering to repair playground equipment, reading stories to the children during Sophia's lunch break. The daycare director, Mrs. Thompson, noticed his dedication. "That man is either trying to save the world or win your heart," she commented to Sophia after 2 weeks of his persistent presence. Gradually, Sophia's walls began to lower. Conversations extended beyond polite exchanges. She started sharing stories of her day, asking about the twins, and Nathan listened, truly listened, in a way he never had before. Meanwhile, Victoria intensified her efforts. She reappeared at Nathan's gym, all smiles and concern. "I've been so worried about you," she said, measuring his reaction. When he remained coldly polite, she changed tactics, arriving at his home in her old role as personal trainer, commenting on his stress weight gain. The twins regarded her with undisguised hostility. "We want Sophia back," Emma declared bluntly during one such visit. "Sweetie, grown-up relationships are complicated," Victoria replied condescendingly. "Sometimes people we trust let us down." "Like you did?" Lily countered with 8-year-old directness. Victoria's mask slipped momentarily, revealing a flash of anger before she recovered. "I only want what's best for your family." Later, she cornered Nathan in his home office. "Those girls need a mother figure who understands your world," she insisted, moving closer. "Not someone who belongs in a discount daycare center." Nathan stepped back. "I need to be clear. There is nothing between us, Victoria." "There never will be again." Her smile tightened. "You'll regret this choice, Nathan. She's not one of us." After weeks of patient effort, Nathan finally convinced Sophia to visit the twins. Their tearful reunion, the girls clinging to her as if afraid she'd disappear again, moved even Eleanor to tears. The elderly woman approached Sophia hesitantly. "I've made a terrible mistake," Eleanor admitted. "One I hope you can forgive someday." Sophia studied the woman carefully. "Forgiveness requires trust, Mrs. Mitchell. Trust must be earned." "Tell me how," Eleanor said simply. That conversation marked the beginning of healing. Sophia agreed to occasional visits with the girls, though she maintained professional boundaries with Nathan. She watched carefully for any sign of doubt in his eyes, any flicker of the distrust that had wounded her so deeply. One evening, after putting the twins to bed during one of these visits, Nathan found Sophia on the terrace where they had shared wine months earlier. "I've been thinking about what you said about trust," he said quietly. "And you're right, it must be earned. But there's something else I need to tell you." Sophia turned, waiting. "What I feel for you isn't just gratitude," Nathan continued. "It's deeper than that. I think I've fallen in love with you." The admission hung between them, fragile and powerful. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "It's complicated," she whispered. "Life is complicated," he agreed. "Loving you is the simplest part of it." Before she could respond, the doorbell rang. A bouquet of lilies had arrived, Sophia's favorite flowers. The card read, "Watching you, always." The unsigned threat chilled the moment, reminding them that Victoria remained a shadow over their happiness. Without concrete evidence of harassment, the police could only file a report. Nathan hired private security for the house and insisted on driving Sophia to and from work. For weeks they existed in a state of anxious vigilance, Victoria's presence felt but not seen. Then came a breakthrough. Eleanor discovered Victoria had been manipulating her by posing as a concerned friend, while continuing to harass Sophia through anonymous messages and calls. Confronted with this betrayal, Eleanor finally saw the full picture of Victoria's obsession. "I need to make this right," Eleanor told Nathan firmly. She visited Sophia at the daycare, bringing not just apologies but action. She had hired a lawyer to file a restraining order against Victoria and asked Sophia to move back into the Mitchell home, this time with proper security and her complete support. "I was wrong about everything," Eleanor admitted. "Those girls need you. My son needs you. And I would be honored to have you as part of our family." Sophia considered the offer carefully. "I'll return under 3 conditions," she finally said. "Absolute respect from you. Non-negotiable trust from Nathan. Any new doubt ends everything. And legal action against Victoria's harassment." Eleanor and Nathan agreed without hesitation. Sophia's return to the Mitchell home was met with jubilation from the twins. "Are you staying forever?" Emma asked, hope shining in her eyes. "Can you be our mom for real?" Lily added, voicing the question both girls had carried since that first request at the school recital. Before Sophia could answer, Victoria made her final move. Having bribed her way past security, she confronted Sophia alone in the kitchen late one night, her composure finally shattered. "You think you've won," she hissed, "but you don't belong in his world. You're nothing but hired help playing dress-up." "And you're trespassing," Nathan said from the doorway, phone in hand. "The police are on their way, and this time we're pressing charges." Victoria's arrest for harassment, trespassing, and violating the restraining order ended her campaign of terror. The court mandated psychiatric evaluation and treatment, keeping her far from the Mitchell family. The healing was gradual but profound. Nathan embraced fatherhood with renewed commitment. Eleanor learned to be supportive without controlling. The legal employment relationship between Nathan and Sophia dissolved, replaced by something far more meaningful. 6 months after Sophia's return, Nathan knelt in their garden, where the twins had planted sunflowers. "You've made us a family again," he said, opening a small velvet box. "Will you make it official?" Sophia accepted with the serenity of someone who had seen the worst and chosen to stay. Their wedding was simple, held in the Boston public garden where they had shared so many family picnics. The twins walked Sophia down the aisle, officially calling her Mom for the first time. 4 years later, the Mitchell home had transformed completely. The twins, now 12, helped prepare a pink nursery for their soon-to-be-born sister. Sophia's pregnancy had brought new joy to their already happy home. Eleanor arrived with hand-knitted baby clothes, fully embracing her role as doting grandmother. At night, lying beside Nathan, Sophia reflected on their journey. What had begun as a child's innocent request, "Pretend to be our mom for just today," had become her life's greatest gift. Through false accusations, betrayal, harassment, and fear, they had forged something unbreakable. A family built on presence, trust, respect, and protection. "What are you thinking about?" Nathan asked, his hand resting protectively on her rounded belly. "How sometimes the hardest paths lead to the most beautiful destinations," she replied, as their daughter kicked against his palm. The family was whole at last, a father who had learned to truly be present, a mother who had once been a nanny, twin daughters who had regained maternal love, and a new sister on the way. Fear had left through the door. What remained was what had sustained them through everything: care. 4 months later, as little Catherine Rose Mitchell slept peacefully in her bassinet, Sophia received an invitation to lead an educational initiative at a prestigious Boston school, with better pay and resources. The opportunity was exceptional. She hesitated, remembering her earlier struggle between career and family. Nathan assured her that whatever she decided, they would support her. The twins created heartfelt posters, "Our mom is the best teacher." During a school parent meeting weeks later, Sophia's qualifications were questioned by someone still influenced by old rumors. Nathan stood up, speaking not just as a prominent businessman, but as a devoted husband, defending Sophia with emotion and conviction. He explained how she had taught his daughters not just academics but courage and love. The room applauded. Sophia, moved to tears, understood. This wasn't gratitude anymore, it was pride and loyalty. That night, she declined the prestigious position. Her mission was clear: to nurture the family that had chosen her with their hearts. Years passed and the Mitchell family thrived. The trauma transformed into commitment. What had begun with "pretend to be our mom for a day" became a daily choice. Presence, trust, respect, and protection. They were whole at last, strengthened by the challenges they had overcome together. Fimda Historia. Dear listeners, we hope Emma and Lily's journey to find a mother in Sophia touched your heart. Their story reminds us that families come in many forms, built through love and trust rather than just blood. For more emotional stories that explore the complexity of relationships and second chances, check out our special playlist by clicking to your left. If this Boston tale of family renewal moved you, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Don't forget to tell us in the comments which character resonated with you most. Was it devoted Sophia, transforming Nathan, or perhaps wise Eleanor? Every day we bring you unique stories that capture life's most profound moments. Stay tuned for our next heartwarming narrative.